Hey guys, us again, and I'm very happy to have hellotax here today. And in our little call is Nick Penev. Nick is running the partnership management for hellotax. I'm very happy again to have him here today on our little show, on our little webinar or recording, whatever it is. Guys, welcome, Nick. And Nick, maybe here's a small chance for you directly to introduce yourself, please.
Okay, thanks, Sebastian, for the invitation, and thank you for having me on your channel. I saw the previous host. I know probably half of them, which is good. I'm in a good company. So I'll introduce myself briefly. I used to be an e-commerce seller for 10 years. I was running a private label supplement business, selling across Europe for 10 years. The business is sold already. I'm not doing that anymore, but I'm actually running the partnership for hellotax, which is a VAT compliance provider, meaning that if you sell in Europe, you need VAT, so you cannot go ahead and do anything without the VAT part, and that's what we do. The story is a little different because I used to be a client of hellotax when I sold my business, and a lot of things in life and mind happen by accident, but usually I'm very proactive. So whenever I see an opportunity, I take the chance. And this what happened with hellotax. I was a client on their end. I saw the business. They told me, Nick, you're doing a lot of partnerships and affiliates for your own brands. Can you do that for hellotax? And I knew the founders already. So I said, okay, man, it's a great idea. Now I've been on the other end. I'll do it for you guys. And I have this approach now on mind. If you talk with me, I might be able to help you just for one thing, but I must have somebody who I can recommend. And that's my approach. You come to me. If you need VAT, hellotax is gonna help you out. If you need to source a product, I send them to Sebastian. If you need logistics, I have another partner. So the thing is, you come to me, you're all set for your expansion to Europe or globally. And by doing that, I help obviously the brands that come to us, and I help my partners, because when you recommend somebody to a partner that you know that they're in good hands and they're gonna take good care of them. And this is good for the brand owner, for the partner, for everybody. And by doing that, a few of my partners said, okay, Nick, can you do that for us? I said, okay, what do you mean, do that for you? I mean, just to do what you're doing for hellotax for us. And I said, okay, you guys just gave me an idea. And I set up a partnership as a service agency. So probably you guys haven't heard about that, but we help companies to grow through partnerships. I'm not going to go into deep details about that, but that's what we do. When a company comes to us, we help them out with anything that they might need. If you need to source a product, we can go to Sebastian. If you need VAT, you go to us. If you need to sell in the USA, we have a sales tax partner. If you have your account suspended, I have another partner. If you want to sell your business, I have another partner. So it's like that. And the thing is, we don't charge anything to e-commerce sellers. This is the thing. E-commerce sellers get all the information for free. They should be just willing to meet different companies and just check their options. And that's, I guess, the long story short about what we do. But I think today we're going to talk mostly about VAT in Europe, and that's why we're here with Sebastian.
Before we get into this, that's of course a little bit interesting. Let's dig a little bit deeper. And what have you built? I mean, you were an Amazon seller yourself as well, right?
No, not actually. I mean, I was selling private label supplements, only D2C. Yeah. We had our own websites. The first product was the so-called acai berry, the magic Brazilian fruit. So I was one of the first selling that in Central and Eastern Europe. USA, it was a big hype. There was one guy called Dr. Oz. He has a show. He got in big trouble. He actually went to testify in front of Congress for promoting all this miracle superfoods. I mean, you can Google that. Okay. So, but the thing, everybody would like to get fit, lose weight, get buff, and all this vanity bullshit. So all our products were actually vanity stuff. How to lose weight, how to build muscles, how to do male enhancement, how to actually enlarge. I mean, all this stuff. And we used to actually we launched a total of 20 products, and not all of them were successful. But the thing is, what we're doing, we're actually getting the idea for a product. We build a landing page in multiple languages. We do a test campaign. If it converts well, we go ahead and actually source our product from the UK. So we're actually testing without having the products. So from idea stage to start selling the real
to
product,
validation.
Exactly. It was like 3 weeks. So
I'll
week
ask
one,
you definitely later about how to do promotion, because I think this is something Amazon sellers are struggling a lot with when it comes to building your own webpage, and not only selling on Amazon, but how to promote it all over the place from your own webpage. And I mean, driving traffic, not only for evaluation, but for real conversions.
Yeah, right now it's much harder, because just keep in mind that was 12 years ago. And just to let you know how early it was, I was paying 1 cent per click in some markets in Central Europe, in the Baltics. And because it was so cheap, we started with like 5K and we had like 5 million in 4 years just by reinvesting. But the thing is, you spend 200 euro for advertising, you get like 200 sales. So cost per action was $1, which is crazy.
Fantastic.
Of course, it was fantastic, because and we're just lucky because we're early. So and we're actually moving very quickly. We didn't have time to do any trademarks, copyrights. Our biggest competitor copied one of our I guess best products, which is called Extreme Power, like my agency name right now, and they simply copied the landing pages, everything. They just changed the name to Extreme Gain, one-on-one. But there is nothing that you can do, because I mean, you don't have any copyright. So, but this is supplements are like shady business. You need to move quickly. You need to try to convert as much as possible. So we try to actually introduce a new product every 6 months or once a year. There's one product called Deer Antwerp, from the Antwerps, from the Deer Snow, and it eventually got forbidden globally. So we stopped that. Now there's one product which was called Omnipotence, which is a male enhancement, and it was doing very well. We're doing like probably around 1,000 sales per day, but eventually we're actually competing with the dating websites on adult like networks, and eventually we couldn't compete with them. They're actually paying too much, and we couldn't even find like a market where to promote that. So like D2C it's much harder. I mean, Amazon, you have an advantage there, but the issue is, and the thing is why we never sold on Amazon, is because we need to cut down our price by 2. We're buying products for 1, 2, 3 euro. For depending on the type of product, and we're selling them for 50 euro. So you can see
that's high.
And that's high, but we're making a lot of sales. I mean, like, for example, in January because we always stopped our campaigns for the holiday season. We never did campaigns in the weekends. We were only running our campaigns 9 to 6 during business hours, because we noticed we don't have any software, but we just noticed that most of the conversions are during business hours. So people are actually shopping during work, and they don't do that much in the weekends. It's the same in the summer. August, July, we stopped everything. Everybody was going on vacation, and then we resumed in September, and also in January. January was like the strongest month for us, because after New Year, everybody has gained weight. They have like a new resolution: I'm gonna lose weight, and they start ordering.
Everybody
like
should
crazy.
Be working at work, but what do? They go shop.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a long time before there was any software where you can do that. We actually figured that we can do that. I mean, and of course there is some like networks, but it was all very manual. We actually built our own affiliate portal software. We built our logistics, so everything was built in-house. And the issue that we always had is logistics. We were never able to find like a good company to deliver, very high percentage of the sales, because 90% of what we're doing was cash on delivery. And cash on delivery, you don't, if the client doesn't pay, you're actually paying for the expense. So I mean, it's not like credit card, but still in
you did cash on delivery, and that worked.
I mean, it worked. I mean,
I'm not sure I dare to do that. Too many people exactly like not paying or paying on invoice.
I mean,
I'm not shipping our products.
I mean, no, actually, people actually, a good percentage for that was like 85-90% is the max that we got.
Okay.
So you can actually make money up to 60% delivery rate.
Plus, it would be a higher conversion. I mean, you can guess both, of course. In there's like, do you make payment on invoice, where you send out the products first and get the money later, even though it's D2C? You may make a lot more orders, because it's convincing to get a better conversion, but at the same time you're running after your money. So
exactly. It's always we had actually a 2-week period from actually sending the orders until we collect the money. So I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, credit card is much easier, but people were not used to use credit cards back then. And like, for example, Italy, Spain, like Central Europe, they were actually good markets for us. People just don't use credit cards that much. So
that's going to be an interesting topic, of course, for when many of us would come then away from Amazon more to D2C, B2C.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I mean, and obviously we need to try both. But because what we're doing was great until Facebook suspended our account, and this happened when we were spending a lot of money there. Probably one of our top months we actually spent $500,000 not spent, and regardless of that, later on, they suspended our account. We're actually doing less because we had like an inverted pyramid. January was the strongest, and then we actually start to spend less and less until we stop completely, just to avoid ad fatigue, because too much ads, even though we're rotating and all this stuff. Of
course, yeah.
Exactly. So they didn't care about that. They said, okay, you don't meet the guidelines, change the landing page, change the product page. We did that. Yeah. And 2 weeks later, they suspended our account again. They say, okay, guys, we don't want to. We cannot sell these products. And then from doing that much sales, went to zero. And then I realized, what? We do Facebook ads, Google ads. The same thing happened with Google ads eventually. I said, we're just too dependent on these guys. And then I actually thought, what? I need to do like affiliates and partnerships. And I started actually building an affiliate and partner network. And I was only paying based on results. If you don't deliver sales, you don't pay anything. But of course, when you have cash on delivery, you need to monitor your affiliates and partners for abuse. There was actually one guy in Italy who was doing a lot of sales, but he was using like scripts, bots, and some sales were not good. So of course, when we catch somebody where he was not getting paid, but it's not like with credit cards. I mean, you have a lot of abuse. So it's very interesting, model. You need to be very, to monitor everything, but it is a good experience. Right now, I mean, if you have a good product, I mean, you don't need to go into that much trouble. But supplements, I know from partners that, for example, for Amazon, if you want to start a supplement brand, I've been told by people that you need to work 2 years without profit, until you break even.
Supplement industry for the last 2-3 maybe even more years. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Switch to them. Back then you already used hellotax, or when did you start using hellotax yourself?
Probably 2 years before I sold my company, because I was using tax advisors in different markets. It was a big mess, like a lot of Excels, and one of the guys made a mistake. We paid some fines, and we said, okay, man, that's too much trouble. We should be doing it. There should be a better. When I started actually researching, and I found this company hellotax, and they were actually growing back then. So I actually spoke with one of the founders. We moved there. We used them for 2 years. We're very happy. And that's why actually hellotax is not like a client of mine, but it's actually a company which I feel like even my company, because I mean, a lot of people think that I'm actually the co-founder, because I do all this stuff and I represent them, but I really believe in the company because I see it as a great solution, just did not have enough exposure. And that's what I'm trying to do, just to educate more people about what they do, how they help sellers. And
feel free, jump in. How does hellotax help Amazon sellers? Mostly Amazon for now. What does it solve?
I mean, the biggest problem is like, you go to Amazon, let's say, I would like to sell on Amazon. Before you set up the account, they ask you, okay, what's your VAT number? This is the first thing. So without VAT, you cannot sell in Europe. It's as simple as that. I mean, and of course, we're official Amazon partner. There's some other better, I guess, more official partners that Amazon recommends, but the issue with them is these companies are very big, and we get most of the leads from the official partners because they lack good communication. This is something that they realized a long time ago with hellotax, because having a great software is good. You connect your account, we get the data, you have all on the dashboard, but the communication is probably the biggest issue across the industry. And this is what hellotax is doing differently. They have people who speak multiple languages, like they even had Bulgarian, like Turkish, German. Of course, Germans are 40% of the clients, Spanish, Italian, Arabic.
40%?
Yeah, 40.
So there's a
So
strong focus, of course, on German sellers.
exactly. We have the software in German, we have multiple people like tax advisors. So it's like a SaaS solution on the front end, because it's good to have visibility across all your sales channels. And then you have the managed service on the back end, because communication is very important. If everything works great, you don't need communication, but dealing with multiple tax authorities, you need like a person who can handle everything for you. And that's
hellotax, I mean, of course, also help doing tax declaration inside Germany, or for example, for German sellers doing the outside declaration in the other countries.
No, this is the specific about hellotax. They don't deal with home country VAT or declaration. So they're only partner up and help you out when you expand cross-border. And the reasoning for that is the following: when you're actually selling in your home country, your local accountant knows how to do the VAT compliance locally, so you don't need that. But when you start selling across the other countries, then you need somebody who knows how to do the VAT registration in the other markets. And this is how hellotax helps, cross-border expansion. And I mean, that's the long story short. If you have time later on, I can show you the tool. But this is just...
Sure, if you have a demo, feel free. I mean,
let
me allow you screen sharing if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that, Let me...
Now you may be able to also directly share the screen. So important thing, I think, for all the sellers to know is that it's not in your home country, not the tax declaration and anything, but it is about declaring the taxes in the other countries you're selling in. Would this be mostly first access when you start storing the products in the other countries?
Actually, I'll explain all the difference now. So these are actually two things that you need to keep in mind when you're selling in Europe. So the first thing, your stock is in your home country and you're selling from your home country to other countries in Europe. In this case, until you reach 10,000 euro, you don't need to do anything. Once you reach 10,000 euro, you need to register for the OSS, the so-called one-stop shop. And then you're going to use the OSS to file the reports every quarter and pay them in your local country. In any B2C sales that you make from your home country to the other markets, you need to report just in your home country, as long as you don't hold stock in the other market. So this is probably the best thing that the European Union has done in regards to the VAT compliance, because it was not like that like 2 years ago. That was changed last July. So it's really simple. One VAT in your home country, OSS registration. So one VAT in your home country, OSS registration, and then you can make B2C sales and deliveries across the whole European Union, and you can just use the reporting in your home country. You don't need multiple VATs. But the most important thing that you need to know is you should not store goods anywhere but your home country. So this is the easiest way for any company to expand across Europe. And the example that I gave is for EU companies. So if your company is based in the EU, if you're a non-EU company, then the model would be similar to that. You simply choose one country in Europe is your home base, you register the VAT, you import your goods, and then you set up the OSS in this country, and you're able to make deliveries from this country to markets across the whole European Union. And you're gonna also just pay the VAT in the home country that you chose and do the OSS registration in the reports in this country. But of course, as long as you don't hold stock. And there is actually one good news for anybody who is selling on Amazon. If you're a non-EU company selling on Amazon, Amazon is going to collect the VAT on your behalf, and you don't need the OSS registration, because Amazon is going to use their own OSS registration to actually deliver the sale. So you just make one transaction from your VAT number to Amazon VAT, and then Amazon is fulfilling the order using their OSS. And they also collect the return. So you don't need to pay the return. For the EU-based companies, the difference is that you need the OSS registration and you need to pay your own returns.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to go into details, because we need to talk about DIMSAPAR and why Amazon is doing that. But just to remember that this is the easiest way to expand. And the other alternative is, if you hold stock in any given market in Europe, then you must have a VAT number. from storing the first
And
product.
hellotax helps with exactly that also.
Exactly.
Registering the company, getting the local registration, and paying the taxes in the
Exactly.
local countries.
Exactly. And one thing that you may, when you say registering the company, just to make some explanation here, you don't need to register a company, you just need to register for VAT. So to sell in Europe, you don't need incorporation. You just need a VAT number and then OSS number. So that's
How's
it.
it by now with the UK actually after breakfast?
Yeah,
Brexit.
actually, yeah, man. The Brexit, no, they have the EFN enabled, so you can actually EFN is the European Fulfillment Network, so they're actually using their own OSS to fulfill orders, and it's much easier than before. But this is only for Amazon. So, and if you're selling under 150 euros, so if you're not selling on Amazon, you still need to go for customs. But in general, I mean, they're actually looking for ways how to eliminate Brexit, I guess, just for their sellers, because a lot of companies doing millions, they stop selling after Brexit, and Amazon is not making money because of that. So I guess they arranged that for their sellers. And I mean, still, and this applies also for EU companies who would like to deliver to the UK market. But I think the one who are suffering the most are the UK, because I mean, Europe is a big market even without the UK.
Yeah.
And still, but you know, Brexit is total bullshit, man. I mean, I haven't spoken with the partner from the UK who told me that they agree with that. But anyways, man, politicians always do mess that somebody needs to obviously fix after that.
But I think we'll not fix that now either, right?
Yeah. By the way, I was watching the news the other day. They're actually they want to come back to the European Union. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, it was a bad idea, but anyways, I mean, so
yeah.
So I mean, just
into the dashboard a little bit.
Exactly. Just to summarize on one thing though, for that, just remember now, we need to sell in Europe. You just need one VAT number and one OSS eventually. If you hold stock in one country, if you hold stock in multiple countries, then you would need multiple VATs. As simple as that. So that's the one thing that you need to remember. And let's go to the dashboard. So let's assume that you're a seller who you have a brand, you decide to sell in a certain market. Let's say Germany, because Germany is the one that I always recommend. For a few reasons. One is they accept documents in English. For English-speaking markets, you don't need translations, like I mentioned. There is a specific tax authority which deals with US company registration. So if you're a company based in the US, you have advantage compared to other markets, which a lot of companies don't know. The location is in Central Europe. Sebastian knows better than me why that is important, And
it's the largest market.
Exactly, in the largest market in Europe, and is the second biggest after Amazon.com. That's what I've been told recently. So it's no brainer. I mean, why you should consider Germany. So let's say you start with Germany. We set up the VAT for you. It will take 2 to 3 months. Usually, we check your documents. We make sure that everything is fine. Our team, not me personally. And then we proceed with the registration. You get the registration or exit within 2 to 3 months. And once you get the registration, this is the one thing that you need to do. You come to this. This is like a demo account that we use. You go to the integration page. If you're selling on Amazon, you simply select your seller ID authorization token and you save that. And we're gonna pull all the data from Amazon. In the demo account, you cannot see that, but we have a Shopify plugin as well. So if you're selling on Shopify, you connect your Shopify transactions and we get them there. And of course, for any import, export, you need or any transactions off Amazon or Shopify, you can actually drop the transactions here, and the software is gonna calculate that. And this is what happens. The dashboard shows you the transactions like gross turnover, net turnover, total VAT. You can filter by countries, by period. You can filter Amazon FBA, Shopify, whatever you're using. So we can actually give access to your accountant, because they can also pull the reports that they're going to use for the accounting. And this is the data that we're actually getting from the integrations or the manual upload, like sales, expense, refund given, refund received, assets movement, because in some market you need to report that. And what is your responsibility now? connecting your account. Then we file the report on your end, on your behalf, VAT or OSS, and then we publish the VAT return here. So you can simply come here, click on the VAT return. If you have one country, it would be just one. If it's multiple ones, you have more, like for each market. You click here, you download that, and you pay the VAT return to the tax authority. And another thing, if you're a non-EU based company selling on Amazon, you don't need to do that, because Amazon is going to collect the VAT and remit that to the tax authority. And the other thing, we have a tax letter inbox. We have a software which translates all the communication from the tax authorities. So whenever we receive something, you'll be able to see it in English or German, and you're going to communicate that with your account manager on our end, so we can communicate with the tax authority if anything is required. And the other thing, in the real account, you can simply add the VAT registrations here. You decide to sell in a market, you put the request, we get in touch with you, we collect the documents, and you get the VAT in 2-3 months, sometimes 4 or 5 months, for example, for Spain. In Spain, has probably the slowest and the most complicated procedure, because they want original documentation, notary, etc., etc. But they're not probably the most demanded market. And the last thing is, you have all the files and reports here, so your accountant would ask for that VAT, see, based on the different market interest stat, etc. So we have all the information here. So on the front end is the SaaS solution. On the back end is the actual managed service, which helps you to deal with anything that is not automated. And that's the biggest benefit for HelloTax, like the technology plus the people aspect of the business.
So when you import all the data from Amazon, all of that in the background, or I guess majority of it, is done automatically?
No, it's all automatically,
Okay. And how long does it then usually take to run through and say, all right, I have my tax declarations ready, I can send them in and get the payments done?
I think the reports are done always beginning of the month. There are actually different dates for each tax authority. So yeah. You're gonna get actual notification for everything, But that's why whenever somebody is a client, they do like an onboarding call with the account manager. They can communicate with them whenever is needed. And so obviously we're babysitting the clients along the way. We're not just telling them, okay, here is the software, just deal with yourself. So it's all this management for you. Because I think I didn't mention that, but the founders are ex-Amazon sellers. So the reason why they built the company is because they were sellers. They didn't have a solution, and they decided to build a company. And they didn't know each other. They just met in some Facebook group. And this is like in 2016. So this is what is the story about them. So.
And who are the customers then that are usually mostly using it? I think you said 40% of them would be Germans, especially when they're selling abroad, when it comes to OSS or storing the products outside of Germany locally for quicker delivery, and of course Amazon Prime and several different other reasons. Would it be worth for like the smallest ones whenever they get started? What do you see as like the best moment to get started with HelloTax?
We have package for the so-called starters. It's even called the starter package. It's like €39 per month, and it's for like companies who are just starting, because when you don't start doing sales right away. So there's a wait period 2-3 months to get the VAT. So you usually pay the starter package, and you pay this price for as long as you don't exceed 500 transactions. Once you exceed the transactions, obviously pay around €100 per month, and you're so-called established seller, meaning there is no limit for the transactions that you make. You actually give other perks as well. And then we have like a 5 country sellers, like for the pan-EU. And this is so actually anybody who is selling on Amazon, they need us, because I know Amazon sometimes offers free VAT, but of course, when something is free, you're the product. You've heard that. So the communication is not great then, and we get a lot of those clients with us, because if everything is great, which doesn't happen all the time, it's okay. But once you start getting in any troubles, you need to communicate with somebody, then there is nothing there. There is no communication. And this is very important, because let's say you're selling, eventually something happens. If nobody replies to you, you're losing money, because sometimes Amazon might make a mistake, but you need to have somebody who can actually fix that on the VAT side. And And that's it. And the other thing that what I've built for hellotax is I built something called multi-user partnership, which is used by aggregators, agencies, and other companies. So we have around like over 10 aggregators as clients who they manage multiple brands with us for the exact same reason, that actually I moved my company to hellotax, just to have one location where I can manage multiple companies and multiple VATs. And you might be surprised, but I got the idea after I spoke with an aggregator more than a year and a half ago, and I told them, okay, how do you guys deal with the VAT? And they told me, okay, we sent Excels to our advisor. I said, are you serious? You're managing 20 plus brands and you use Excels? And they say yes. And I said, okay. And I spoke with the CPO, the head of product at hellotax, and said, okay, can we build that? Yes, of course. So we just built like a dashboard where a big company or like a company with multiple brands with different VATs can just handle each company, and they can see the dashboard for each client separately. So
nice. That's very good.
If the market requires that, you need to do it. Otherwise, I mean,
Yeah. Now, Nick, what would be the best way? Get directly in contact with you, get in contact with hellotax. Where should people find you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll share with Sebastian the link to my LinkedIn and our website. Sebastian is a partner, so as a partner, you guys get always like a better discount and better pricing. But sourcing is very important. Without a product, you don't need hellotax. So first, you need to go to Sebastian, get the product, get your stuff together, and then you would need VAT. Otherwise, I mean, we wouldn't be talking.
But then they get you, they find you, just Google hellotax or through Nick or the link that we're posting with it. So yeah, in general, thank you very much, Nick, for giving a quick introduction about it. Quite interesting. It looked very simple, I have to say. Quick, nice overview. Any last words you would say? Any hints you'd give any Amazon seller straight away?
Any Amazon seller, first thing, people ask me, I'm always telling everybody, you miss 100% of the shows that you don't take. So obviously you need to test as much as possible and make decisions based on the result. So don't think that you know everything. There is so much information, there is so much tools, there is so much companies like Sebastian. So you need to simply find the good partners who can help you grow. This is the one thing. The second thing is don't overlook small markets. Sometimes people are saying, okay, this market is very small, don't go there. And I'll tell you from experience that I was making the most profit and most of the sales in markets that nobody wants to sell on. So if it's small, it means that if you combine 10 small markets, you can actually make more profit than the bigger ones. So it's always good to have exposure on the most, competitive markets, so you can actually test your product. But it's always good to look into the niches,
True.
To actually.
Thanks a lot for that, Nick. I hope that some of the viewers will come to you. I have no doubt about that. And
sure.
Thanks again. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, me too, Sebastian. Thanks for inviting me. Later. Bye-bye.